Hello lovelies, my name's Feta and welcome to Fable Academy, where adventure is old and new, learn from the best! But usually the worst. Well, today we actually have an update to a story I've read in a previous short. I was going to read this one as a short as well, but as soon as I realized who OP was and recognized the previous story, I decided to pivot over, put on my fancy background, and give this story the breathing room it deserves. In case you missed it, OP dropped out of a Fabula Ultima campaign because one of the players was showing a lot of red flags and couldn't even look OP in the eye when confronted. Now, this story really icked me out on vibes alone, so I'm excited to jump into the update. This story, and the previous, are by the King. I point out I thought a comment was rude. I'm judgmental? The owner of my local store was running a draw steal one-shot, something I'm all about. It's an open game, first come, first serve. The day of, at the last second, a person I've had problems with in the past joins. This is a person I've had to leave a campaign because of in the past. Long story short, I tried to talk to them in that game about how them using dehumanizing language to justify killing prisoners made me uncomfortable, and they couldn't even look me in the eye. I later learned I wasn't the only player who left that campaign because of them. I figure it's a one-shot, and I want to play draw steal so badly, I figure I can tough it out, and reason that if they're being rude, I can call it out in the moment. For the majority of people playing, this is the first time they've played draw steal. The GM even flat out saying they're okay with being corrected. I've run once before, and I've spent a lot of time researching, so I spend a lot of time flipping back and forth in my rulebook. Problem player cites a rule I had previously gotten wrong, so I go to check it. They make a comment about page X for the person about to correct me. That didn't sit well with me. At the end of the game, I said I thought it was rude and asked them not to do it again. They said, absolutely. I untense. Problem solved through communicating like adults, right? Wrong. The next word out of their mouth is, however. They accuse me of being judgmental, that they didn't approve, then that they think I've ranted at them multiple times. I don't know what the fuck they're on about. I might speak quickly when bringing up problems at a table due to the old fight or flight kicking in because I get nervous about social confrontations, but my voice is level, my tone neutral, and my language polite. And they agree to my request even though it's judgmental? I don't understand what's going on there beyond some, I want to be seen as polite, but I dislike you still, and I want to make that known. Contradiction of motives. I talked to the DM about this after the DM broke up the argument, telling them that frankly I just don't want to play at the same table as problem player anymore. The DM confided that I'm not the only person having problems with them regarding that session, and they promised they'd handle it. I think my DM handled this well, and I'm committed to avoiding problem player now. I just find myself baffled and frustrated that, hey, please don't speak to me like that, can be considered judgmental ranting. Typing this out just helped me get the frustration out of my system. OP, I applaud you for trying to make this work despite you and this problem player sharing a local hangout spot, but honestly, I would have left the table the moment he joined. If you remember him and the times he's been a dick to you in the past, he remembers you and the times you've stood up to him. And it sounds like he's very clearly not the kind of person to let that stuff go. To a person like this, any challenge to their behavior or any remote bruising of their ego is judgmental. So much that it's become one of those dog whistle keywords of sexism and biased double standards. He couldn't even dignify you with eye contact the last time you confronted him on seriously problematic behavior. Frankly, I'm surprised this didn't go worse than it did. I know you really wanted to play draw steal, but did you really want to play it that badly? That said, you shouldn't have to leave a table just to avoid him, even if that's what I would have done. I'm just a cowardly cartoon goat on the internet, but it's not your responsibility to vacate your places of passion and go out of your way to avoid someone. From the sounds of it, soon the whole shop is going to be sick of this guy, and it's sounding like you already have enough people on your side to put together a real table full of real friends. And yeah, it sucks when a central hub of your hobbies and community is occupied by an increasingly problematic and disliked person, but as long as you can actually keep him out of your way and not let him take up your brain space and invade your peace, the only harm he can do to you is what you allow him to do. But that's just my thoughts on these stories. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again soon for our next lesson in Fable Academy.